Hi everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? Look what I've got here. I'll tell you about it in just a minute. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm glad you're joining me today. We're going to go through the 6 speak out exercises. We'll also do some exercises to strengthen the back of your tongue. So thank you for joining me. Look what I've got here. For all of you that registered to perform in this year's virtual choir, the t-shirts are in. We've already mailed the international ones, or the ones from out of town. I think those went out yesterday, and we'll be mailing the rest in the next couple days. If you live in town, if you're a Loud Crowd member in town, you can come pick yours up from the clinic between 12 and 3. Don't worry, if you can't come, we'll mail it out tomorrow. Okay? All right, and if for some reason you registered and you didn't get your video in this year, it's okay. You're still getting a t-shirt. All right? We're going to go through the speak out exercises. Before we begin, we need to take a sip of water, okay? We're going to work with intent. We're going to speak out. We're going to do our very, very best, not only during this session, but for the rest of the day. Let's start with the warm-up. We've got to warm up the voice. Lift your voice and project it forward. Imagine you have a crowd in front of you, and your voice has to fly over the crowd. You don't want it to fall on the crowd's head. All right? Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Lift the voice. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Connect the sounds, okay? Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Old speech therapy is about thinking about your breathing, sitting up straighter, trying to smile, over-articulate. I want you to focus on speaking out. When you speak out, you do all those other things. Let's do another warm-up. May, me, my, mo, moo. Excuse me, let's get some water. Allergies are terrible. I take 3 different allergy medications every morning, and they're still bad today. All right, ready? One more with intent. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. We're done with the warm-up. Sometimes it takes a few exercises for the voice to really warm up. So if it's still gravelly, doesn't sound its best, it's okay, especially if you're first going through the program. It might take you till you get to the glides where you start to feel like, okay, it's working now. All right, let's do an ah. Lift the voice and throw the ah forward. Ready? Ah. Nice and steady. Don't belt it out. We want you to have control over it. Ready? Let's do another one. Use your best voice. Don't worry if you can't can't hold the ah as long. Like Kathy always says, strength over length. I would much prefer to have a 4 or 5 second ah that was nice and consistent, strong, than for you to try to hold it out longer. So many Parkinson's groups, unfortunately, I noticed around the country, they encourage somebody holding their ah as long as they can. And we used to do this at Parkinson Voice, but we learned better after we got in contact with Dr. Boone, and he taught us a short ah, 10 seconds, nice and consistent. You don't need to try to hold it longer, because you're not going to speak. Your sentences are probably not going to be more than 10 seconds worth of breath. Does that make sense? Let's do another ah. Ah. Let's do one more. Take a sip of water. The late Daniel R. Boone, a world-renowned speech pathologist and voice expert, he's the one that taught Parkinson Voice Project all about speaking with intent. And so he said, we would much rather work on our reading and cognitive skills than spend so much time on the ah. All right, sip of water. The third speak out exercise is the glide. I want you to project the ah forward and glide up. Here we go. Ah. Stop. Ah. Dopamine helps to control your voice. I want you to have control over it as you do these glides. Much easier to belt out a glide, like real like that. That's not what we want. We don't want you to yell. We want you to have control over your voice. Project the ah out and slowly glide up. Here we go. Stop. Close your mouth. Relax. Make the sound end in front of you. Don't let it trail off or go to the back of your throat. Let's do another one. Stop. All the way. When you get to the top, we want you to have to take that breath, but we're not going to tell you to take the breath. That's why we say stop all the way. We don't want you focused on the breathing. That will come when you speak out. Let's do another one. Let's go a little faster this time. It'll make it a little bit easier. Ready? Stop. If you want to make it easier, you go a little faster. It doesn't require as much breath support. But we're going to do one that's more challenging. Take a sip of water, and we're going to do one that's very, very slow. It's going to make it harder, but let's get some water. All right, here we go. Lots of intent. that's for all of you who say the glides are too easy. You can try it like that. Make sure that you're not hurting your voice. You're not yelling. You're not going from here. All right, take another sip of water after that hard one, and then we'll do the counting. Aren't these t-shirts cute? Sing with intent. I saw a little sneak preview. Our producer is now putting the virtual concert together. I got to see part of it yesterday. It is so good. Make sure that you register to watch the concert on November 6th. It'll be on our website. RSVP, there's no charge, it's free. But also think about planning a watch party. Invite family, friends, neighbors over to watch it on the big screen on your TV, or you could even set up a Zoom call with your family and watch it together if they don't live in the same town. All right, here we go. Counting to 12, we're connecting the numbers, we're re-coordinating our breathing pattern, increasing our breath support for speech. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Some people think that this exercise is really easy to count to 12. And if it's too simple for you, stretch the vowels out a bit. We'll do it like that. We're going to stretch them out more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stop. 4, 5, 6. Stop. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should have been more challenging. Now, if you want to simplify it, you want to make it a little bit easier, you can go a little bit faster. That will not require as much breath support. We'll go a little faster for our last one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, take a sip of water. I wanted to expand a little bit on the question that came in yesterday, which is how much speech exercise is needed? How much is enough? So this was sent to us by a very proactive person who's doing his best to stay strong and battle Parkinson's. And the key to this is not to do too much, but consistency. To do it every day. That is the main thing with Parkinson's for speech and physical, that you exercise every single day, you use intent, you try to incorporate intent into your speech, so you're not just speaking with intent during these exercises or when you walk into Parkinson Voice Project or when you see me. You're really aware of it. You're working on it. You're trying to use your best voice every single time you talk to somebody. When you speak with intent, you expand your lungs, you move the vocal folds, you move the lips and the tongue and the cheeks better. So essentially, you could be exercising all day long. Regular talking does not replace this workout, but you could be working those muscles a little bit. So that's the main thing, is consistency. So we have some phrases about consistency, and so I'm going to share them as we do our reading. And thank you to Julie, my assistant, who prepared these for us. We're going to read this. When we get to the reading exercise of the Speak Out protocol, we are coordinating the breathing with our vocal folds, with our articulators. Okay, but the key is not just to read them, but to be projecting forward so that we're activating the muscles that we're using for speaking and swallowing. Start with the word phrases. Ready? Speak out. Phrases. Say it again. Phrases. First one. Slow and steady wins the race. Are you thinking about every single word with every single word with intent? In the later stages of Parkinson's, what you can do now to help you later is to really get used to saying every single word with intent. It doesn't mean that you have to talk like a robot. It means that you become aware of projecting the words forward. Start with slow and steady. Ready? Slow and steady wins the race. Race in front of you. Say it. Race. Up and over. Do it again. Race. Say the whole phrase. Slow and steady wins the race. Again, more intent. Slow and steady wins the race. You see how I'm lifting my voice? This is what will help you in the later stages of Parkinson's so that you don't end up having the trouble that people who do not have access to our treatment, okay? You don't want that. Next one. Believe in yourself. Do you see how I don't trail off on self? Say the whole phrase. Believe in yourself. If you have a hard time controlling it, go slower. Ready? Believe in yourself. Do it again. Believe in yourself. So you start real slow and then you go a little faster. Let's do it a little faster. Believe in yourself. Up and over again. Believe in yourself. You see how it goes up over a crowd. Speaking out. Ready? Finish what you start. Lift it. Ready? Finish what you start. Again. Finish what you start. I love these, Julie. All right, ready? You can win the prize in small steps. That is true. Go back to what we studied with the 7 habits of highly effective people. Put first things first. You have so many things that you need to work on. So you will win the prize. Okay? You will battle Parkinson's. You will have a good life. But small steps, small changes every day. Let's read the phrase again. You can win the prize in small steps. Don't trail off. Do it again. You can win the prize in small steps. I want you to name one thing you can do today. This is your cognitive exercise. One thing you can do today that will make your life with Parkinson's better. And when you think of this one thing, I want you to think of the one thing that would have a ripple effect. It would have a domino effect. If you did this one thing, it would affect so many other things. What is that one thing? Think about it and then say it with intent. If you're not sure, you can say that with intent. You can say, I don't know what that one thing is. What is the one thing? It might be if you got your medications in check. You set up a good plan, you're taking them on time, you got the reminder, you got your spouse to put a reminder on their phone, you take the medicine with a full glass of water so it works its best. That might be the one thing you need to start with. Let's go to the next phrase. Read it with intent. Ready? Don't compare yourself to others. Don't trail off on others. Do it again. Don't compare yourself to others. lifted. Again, don't compare yourself to others. Your cognitive exercise where you're going to answer with intent. Do you compare yourself to others? Have you been that way all your life? I don't really compare myself to others, but I compare myself to myself. So I'm always competing against myself, always giving myself a hard time. Too much of a hard time, really. So very important with Parkinson's. Do not compare yourself to others. Why is it, answer this question with intent, why is it so important that you do not compare yourself to other people you know with Parkinson's? What's the answer? Have you ever heard that Parkinson's is I'll come back to this. Have you ever heard that Parkinson's is the snowflake disease? Or if you've seen one person with Parkinson's, you've only seen one person? Everybody is so different. But let me tell you what's really different about them besides their symptoms. The proactive nature of people is different. If you see someone having a hard time, well, for one, they could have a Parkinson plus disorder, so it's much more difficult for them. But maybe there is a lot of improvement to be made. Maybe they don't take their medicines on time, they don't exercise, maybe they don't have the family support that you have. It's hard on them, right? Or you're going to see someone who's doing really well, and maybe it's regular Parkinson's. Their medications just happen to be, the first time when they went to the doctor, everything lined up perfectly. It doesn't happen like that for everybody. Sometimes people have to go through 5 different combinations of medications before they find the one that is right, okay? Or maybe somebody's exercising all the time. They have access to great doctors and good therapists, but they're really working hard. You can't compare yourself to others. And that's why when people come into our clinic, if they see somebody in a wheelchair or so, you don't know what the situation is. Other people you see in your groups may have other issues. Maybe they had a stroke many years ago. Maybe it has nothing to do with Parkinson's. Don't compare yourself to others. All right, couple more sentences. Ready? Success requires effort. Again, success requires effort. Say it again with more intent. Success requires effort. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much effort are you putting forth to managing Parkinson's? How much effort? Let's do the next one, sorry. Ready? Success is a process, not a destination. Do it again. Success is a process, not a destination. Oh, I love this one. Julie, thank you. Ready? It is hard to defeat someone who refuses to give up. Isn't that how you want your family and friends to see you? When we think of the 7 habits and Stephen Covey says, think of the end in mind. Don't you want to be that person described as the person who refused to give up? Answer the question. Do you refuse to give up? If you didn't say yes, I want you to call me. All right, let's read it again. It is hard to defeat someone who refuses to give up. Very nice. All right, I want to show you something now. I'm going to show you our website because I have a tool that will help you. Maybe you don't know where to start to manage Parkinson's. Well, we have something called the step-by-step plan for living with intent. The step-by-step plan for living with intent. And this is 60 suggestions made by our Loud Crowd members at our clinic. And I'm going to show you where to access it. I'm taking you to our website. This is our website. These are these are our Parkinson Voice Advocates, our volunteers. If you've been through the Speak Out program and you want to be a volunteer, just send an email to Intent and we'll get you set up. Next, the virtual choir. Register for the virtual choir, okay? And then these are the exercises. By the way, if you're practicing with me on Facebook or YouTube, please try out our website sometimes at least, because you're missing out on the cute things that Katie and Lena post. We can't post pictures and things on Facebook. We can only do it on our website, and we can't post the reading material. All right, but this is what I want to show you right now. See the green box? The lime green box, Parkinson's webinar and information session. I'm clicking on that. All right, if you have not attended the session, here's the big pink box here, okay? You want to register for the next one. It's a lecture I do once a month. But this, over to the right, it says Learn About Parkinson's. You click on this. Hold on. I click on that video. Now let me show you something. This is a 14-minute video, okay, about Parkinson's, and it explains intent. But at the end of the video, watch it all the way to the end, okay? All the way to the end. When you get to the end, it will pop up and it says, would you like a copy of Parkinson Voice Project step-by-step plan for living with intent? So watch the 14-minute video, then download the document, 60 suggestions. And I love it because it's a checklist, and it says already doing with intent or needs more intent. So you can go through that and look at all the areas that maybe where you could make improvement, and then you decide where you're going to start. Okay. All right. Take a sip of water. We're running out of time. All right. We're going to do Dr. Boone's words. We're only going to do them twice because we've got to get to the harder reading. Here we go. Ready? Gula ganga ga. Get those G's. Gula ganga ga. Do the next one now. Get the K's in there really strong. Ku ka mangu ka. Ku ka mangu ka. Next one. Gangla. Over the crowd. Gangla. And next. Kukla. Kukla. I'm going to pull up our bonus reading. Ready? Bonus reading. By the way, if I lecture too much, and you don't like it, I want you to send me an email to intent@Parkinson Voice Project, okay? I want to be helpful to you, but I don't want to be annoying. For our bonus reading, we're going to read The Tortoise and the Hare. Very, very appropriate for our theme of slow and steady wins the race. If you're new to the broadcast, the reading material for the bonus reading is harder, longer sentences. Speak out over the crowd. Exaggerate and imagine you're reading the story to 50 people. We're starting at the top. Here we go. Tortoise and the Hare. A hare was making fun of the tortoise one day for being so slow. Every word with intent. Do you ever get anywhere? He mocked. Ready? Yes, replied the tortoise, and I get there sooner than you think. Let's race and I'll prove it. By the way, you can download this reading material on our website. All right, here we go. The hare was very amused at the idea of running a race with the tortoise, and just for the fun of it, he agreed. Keep saying every word with intent. Ready? The fox started the runners off, and the hare was soon far out of sight. Say that again, out of sight. Ready? Out of sight. Again, out of sight. Ready? He decided to lay down beside the road until the tortoise caught up to him. Ready? Then he would finish the race and celebrate his victory. For the rest of it, we're going to go through without me stopping. All right? Keep up. Here we go. The tortoise, meanwhile, kept a slow and steady pace. After a time, he even passed the place where the hare was napping. When the tortoise was across the finish line, start with as. As the hare cringed, the tortoise celebrated with purpose and intent. All right, there you go. I'm going to read that last part again. After a time, ready? Okay, no, right here, start with the tortoise. The tortoise, meanwhile, kept a slow and steady pace. After a time, he even passed the place where the hare was napping. When the tortoise was across the finish line, as the hare cringed, the tortoise celebrated with purpose and intent. We've got a little mistake in there. So download the reading material, read it with intent. Get those muscles stronger. Do your best self. Download the step-by-step plan for living with intent. If you have trouble, you can email us at intent, and we'll get you that. But watch the video, only 14 minutes, and then download the plan and start figuring out how to make your life better with Parkinson's. I'll be with you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.